Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the New Orleans Saints. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Breeze. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. Now Breeze on third down. He's going to sling this deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
Here we go.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did, and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Into the red zone, it's Breeze.
Oh, wait.
Oh, it'll be intercepted.
Okay.
Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
After the interception, here's Griffin. Drops it off for Coleman. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On first down, Griffin. It's caught left side by John Brown. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers to, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? As a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here in this first series. To throw is RG3. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Ready? You ready?
Breeze now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Ready? You waiting? Waiting for second.
On second down, Kamara. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Here's Breeze to throw. And Watson has it right side. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
Nice commitment to the run, boy.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They go play action. Griffin. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. Out of the gun, Griffin. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Room here to run. The 30. 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Tevin Coleman, 85 yards. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Saints on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6.
Ready. Yellow lady. Listen.
Here's Breeze. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith.
My bad, Jimmy. Damn, you should have had that TD,
You don't see
baby.
this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Now it's Griffin. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Throwing now, Griffin on 1st down. Caught left side to Crabtree. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 13 sets them up 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
From the gun, it's Griffin. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 2nd and goal from the 1. Now it's Griffin. And this one's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's Griffin. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to
Hey, yo, what the
And
fuck?
he missed it. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. So that's one you almost never see at this level. A wobbler from very short range, and it winds up no good.
All right, Brandon, if he slipped or someone got a hand on it, then I could understand it, but it's almost like you heard a whistle or something to stop this swing. A very strange result, especially for an NFL kicker.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 20. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's got some space here. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now Breeze. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Ready. 21.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
Here's Griffin, and he's taken down here by the Saints. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. They go play action with Griffin. A right side catch by Crabtree. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play.
And the pressure getting to RG3. He's brought down for the sack. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Now it's Ginn.
Mighty.
11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
After the interception, here's Griffin. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. From midfield now, here's Griffin. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's first and 10. From the shotgun, Griffin. Eluding the pressure right. A strong running. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Cameron Jordan in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. From the gun, Griffin. And an alley to run. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Final play of the half. It's Griffin. Airing one deep for Crabtree. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Operating from the gun. Griffin staying on his feet. And the pressure gets to him again.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
The Ravens on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, Griffin. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On first down, Breeze. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Chris Wormley able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. To throw, it's Breeze. And Watson has it right side. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They run it again with Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. The Saints on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for John.
Oh, my God, bro.
Maybe a little too fired up there for a third down stop.
Remember in preseason when we were going to camps and watching people, they worked on this, right? In the heat of the summer. Still did it anyway.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Now they'll throw with Breeze. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Ready? 21.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Lutz's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Now, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
They find some open field here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a
Welcome to the stage, JoJo Natson.
In for the score. And the Ravens are in for 6.
Welcome to the squadron, boy.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Ready. 21. 2. Got it.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact.
And Kamara got hurt.
Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action. Now Griffin. And incomplete on the deep ball. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is
you missed that wide open receiver,
Andy been
fam.
pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some big jelly or something like that.
3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Now Breeze, maybe a free play. That's complete to Meredith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw is Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. They fake the give. Here's Breeze. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Slow.
After the interception, here's Griffin. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, Griffin. And this is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. On 3rd down. That's Coleman. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
They want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Back near his goal line. Here's Breeze. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Ready. Oh, ready. Under.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. Give him 30 yards there.
Here we go. Ready.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And for one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's Breeze. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That good for 19 on the first down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
Slow.
Now Griffin on 2nd down. It's caught left side by John Brown. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The Ravens on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Throwing now is Griffin. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. And the Saints signal for another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Here's Coleman. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but
Thank you, Mr. Black, for giving me Kevin Coleman, my secret
It's
weapon.
a two-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy.
Hit him with that
could put you in some
4-1 no
Here's Tucker
special,
now
boy.
out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And they're leaving pressure too much.
The lead
Down he
sack
goes.
leader. Boink.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Left. On one. Yellow lady.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Forced out to his left. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off around the 41. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
Damn.
Coleman.
That was my little juke move right
Pick
there,
up at
bro.
13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over.
Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator is relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to stop him on that run.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Coleman now. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. This is Coleman. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Ravens, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.